Okay, we are recording. Good evening. My name is Paul Sevilla, librarian at the Livermore Public Library. Welcome everyone to our Zoom Poetry Slam. I'm looking forward to hearing some good poetry tonight. As I mentioned, we are video recording tonight's program and making it available to watch on the library's YouTube channel. And and I see that I hope a lot of you will be reading poetry. So I will unmute who's ever going to be reading. And if you'd like to be seen, I can make you a panelist. So without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce our host, Livermore's Poet Laureate, Cynthia Patton. Welcome, Cynthia.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Okay, so I cannot, normally when I'm hosting, I can see who's here, but
let me make you a co-host. There you go. You should be able to see now.
Here we go. See the attendees? Oh, attendees, yes. Okay, who do we have here? Okay, Kevin's here. Marilyn, Peggy, Rose. I'm trying to see if there's anybody here who anybody's missing. Okay, all the people that told me for sure they were coming are here. Several other people said they might be coming. So, yeah. So, does everybody know how to use the show of hands function? I'm assuming everyone's got something to read. Yes, yes. I know Marilyn does. Kevin, do you have something to read? I'm assuming he does. I'm assuming everyone here does. So we've got plenty of time. I wasn't sure how many people, and we may have some people join late. So, let's everyone try to keep it to 5 minutes. And we should be good. Peggy, do you want to start us off?
Do I get my picture or do I just read to my dark screen?
Oh, interesting. Did you turn your camera on?
Let me promote you to panelist. Okay. There you go. You should be seen now. There you are, Peggy.
Oops.
Yay.
You can see me?
We can see you.
Okay.
We can.
All right. On the 199th night of the virus, I awoke too soon, plagued by insomnia, too early to rise, but too late to hope for any meaningful additional sleep. In this dark hour, I'm drawn to your tranquil rhythmic breathing, and to soothe my unease, I nestle close to the curve of your spine, tuck the blanket around us, and slip through the back door of your dream. Ah, there you are, on stage with the band, caressing your bass on a September evening, down at the wine bar, Night Harvest Live, on the jam-packed patio, where gypsy jazz flows from skilled fingertips to enchant and excite and drive to dance the carefree, maskless crowd. From a table in back, I study your smile, and I see what I missed that night. How your eyes were lit, not from the flare of propane lamps, but from the power, pride, the unabashed joy that comes from making the music. I didn't see it then, but now, as we huddle unmoving and silent, locked inside this tuneless viral darkness, I see it, my love, I see it. Thank you. That's all I have.
Nice. Okay. Marilyn, do you want to go next?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it would be best if I could become a panelist, I guess.
Are we gonna, Paul, maybe you're gonna have to make everyone a panelist.
I'll start my video here.
No, I can, yeah, you're a panelist now.
Okay.
Okay, so I have two. This first one I can just read. The second one, though, I don't know, it'd be best if I could share the screen, but I don't know if you can do that. So anyway,
We can try it.
We can try it. First one is, excuse me, dream or nightmare. I didn't go, I didn't come to see my mom, although I'd been asked many times before. She always revived to live another sunrise, another birthday. Why wouldn't this week be the same? No, I didn't go. An attendant said that the week before, Mom had shouted through her door, "Tommy, Gary, open up, let me in." But her brother Tommy, buried in Florence with his friend, wouldn't open heaven. She said, it wasn't my time. They wouldn't let me in. This week, they opened the door. So we all came together, husband, daughters, grandchildren, to carry her coffin and lay her in her grave. Today, her photo appears to celebrate Mother's Day and bring back tears in the midst of COVID-19. Thank God she's not here. Okay, so like I said, I can read this, but I think it would be better if I could share my screen somehow to put it on here.
Yeah, should see a button at the.
Okay, I
know how to
share
do that?
screen.
Host disabled, so you have to enable it.
Oh, Paul, do you know how to do that?
Click on it, Paul, and you should be able to follow the directions to enable it.
All right, let me make you the co-host. All right, you see it? Should be able to see
Okay.
share screen.
Here it is. All right. A visit during COVID-19. Ordered to stay at home except for essential services. Face coverings order. Everyone under age 2 shall wear a face covering. COVID-19. Earth population 7.8 billion. 36.36% infected. And I'm going to read this. You can just look through cases, deaths, recoveries, US cases, death, recoveries, deaths this year, California, new cases, deaths, hospitalized, Alameda County, cases, deaths, 20,022, deaths, 332, Livermore, 90,000, population, daily high of 12,614 cases and 219 total deaths. Symptoms may appear 2 to 4 days after exposure: fever or chills, cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, body aches, headache, loss of taste or smell, sore throat, congestion, nausea, diarrhea. husband feeling sick, exposed at work. We go to the drive-through, testing at the fairgrounds, open 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We arrive a half hour early to park in back of a line, snaking back and forth, like the lines at an amusement park or the opening of an art exhibit at MoMA. We sit in our car and wait, wait, wait. Inch forward, 1 car length, 2, wait, wait. Car by car, we slowly approach a man with a mask who tells us to wait, wait, wait. 5 minutes, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. A woman in a mask asks name, age, symptoms. We wait. Another masked man waves us forward. We roll the windows down. And a nurse in full PPE sticks a swab as long as a pencil, thinner than a Q-tip, up our noses, causing us to feel an irresistible tickle or water up the nose. Down, done, drive out, 10:23 a.m. Drive-through testing closed before noon. 200 tests for the day, finished. 11 p.m., I go to bed and dream of a woman with light brown hair, tamed into waves which circle her oblong face and high forehead, soft brown eyebrows and small gold frame lenses frame bright blue eyes. A short snub nose divides curved soft cheeks, seeking a light kiss. A gentle smile reveals even upper teeth. Above a softly curved chin, her warm body waits with an embrace. A man whose sandy blonde waves soften a rectangular face with a receding hairline. Gold aviator glasses frame deep set pale blue eyes. A long nose points downward to an easy crooked smile, and a strong chin, tall and gangly. He stands aside, ready with a firm squeeze. I reach out to them. They are as real as when they lived. I feel their touch. I wake up bathed in their love. Their surprise visit from heaven, a vital gift that surrounds me days on end. And we'll stop the share.
Is that it? You're done,
That's
Marilyn, right?
That's it.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Let's see. Who do we? Everyone's like popping around in here. Kevin, do you want to go next? I can allow you to talk.
Go ahead and unmute yourself, Kevin. Okay, there you go. You should be able to talk now.
Kevin, do you remember how to turn on your video?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You want to be on video?
Yeah. Can you get the thing?
All right. You should have video.
I think you need to turn it on.
Start my
At your end.
Okay.
There you go. There you are.
We're good?
Okay.
Let's go.
Good,
Yeah.
Good to go. All right. First poem is entitled Zorro Reboot. I wake up, take a moment to summon my inner Zorro, put on my mask, set out to save the world. That is, run errands. Who would have thought in all my superhero fantasies that I could one day walk into the bank, cinch up my mask, stand 6 feet apart from the nearest fellow customer and feel heroic, doing my part in rendering our aerosol arch enemy powerless. I walk down the street, past other look-alike masked marauders doing their good deeds. There's not much time for socializing. Can't give those breathable bandits any airspace. I go into the grocery store, follow the arrows on the floor, dart between the aisles, dodge oncoming shoppers, push my cart to the checkout stand, squirt a liquid bacterial barricade onto my hands, making me ready to do battle with any desperado droplets I might encounter. Sans the strapping white horse, the swashbuckling sword, the swirling black cape, I forge ahead, a hero nonetheless. This next one's called Bonnie and Clyde Boomerang. Ballyhooed bank robbers out on the lam. Fast forward to now, it's become who I am, flying under the radar of droplet-laced disease, hiding out in my safe house from bacteria on the breeze. When I do go out, a mask conceals my face. I go about my business without leaving any trace. Unrecognizable to others, I try to keep my distance. I say very little, try to dodge any rage resistance. I feel like Ted Kaczynski, estranged from family and friends. I follow all the rules on which COVID compliance depends. Laying low until we know we have a safe vaccine. Feeling like a fugitive, a crook on quarantine. And one last one, it's called Pigskin Pandemic. President Trump has been playing political football with the pandemic, trying to score points with his fans. Team Trump didn't take his opponent seriously enough, allowing Team COVID to advance and back our country up to the goal line. The Trump team ignored the scientific scouting report, so they failed to grasp the tendencies of Team COVID, underestimating the speed and surreptitiousness of its attack. The COVID team has unleashed an unprecedented aerial assault, passing at will over a porous defense. Casualties are mounting for the Trump team as they try to compete without requiring their players to wear helmets, allowing Team COVID to get in the face of many Americans. Without helmets, Team Trump is suffering the effects of concussions, leading to the inability to think clearly and take necessary precautions. The Trump team is playing with no discernible game plan, trying to play catch up before the clock runs out. Meanwhile, Team COVID keeps moving the chains, chewing up carnage, finding the end zone, spiking the American people, and setting statistical scoring records. Team Trump fumbled the public interest, downplaying and delaying testing and tracing. The Trump team threw a Hail Mary quick fix of hydroxychloroquine that was intercepted by credible medical studies. Team Trump punted away responsibility again and again when they failed to gain ground wishing on miracles. The Trump team mismanaged the clock, leading to delay of game penalties and a loss of confidence in lives. Questionable play calling by Team Trump in rushing kids back to school and recklessly throwing open businesses too soon caused the economy to be gang tackled by the team virus. The Trump team has blamed state and local officials for their team's poor performance. With the game nearing halftime, it is turning into a runaway rout. With the score Team COVID, 226,000 lives taken, Team Trump, 0 plan of action. Those are my poems tonight, so.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Let's see, who else do we have? Rose, are you here? Do you have, I'm assuming you have something to read?
I do.
I know you do, you sent something to me. All right, do we need to unmute her? You appear to be unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Do you want to turn your camera on?
Okay, if you don't.
No, it's fine. I'll turn my camera on. There we go. All right.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Interlude. Feet on pavement, moving forward to somewhere or nowhere, this time belonging to me, only me. Behind me, memories of my family, husband, children, responsibilities need to do. Behind me, voices. Where is my, I need, can you, feet on pavement, eyes wandering, here, there, no deadlines, just me in this moment. Soon I will return, pick up the pieces of my life, rejoice in the chaos of life in a family with me in the center. Right now, in this moment, I am free, happy to be me.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, that's Rose. Who else do we have on there? Sal. I know you had something that you wanted to read. I think you're unmuted.
Zell, do you mean?
Sal. No. Zell, do you have something to read?
No.
Yes,
Or
I
you
do
just
have something to read.
I'm just listening. It's great so far. I tell
Okay.
you.
Okay, let's start the
Okay.
video.
Thank
There we
you.
go. Okay.
No, there's someone else called Sal. Okay, there he is.
Hi. I'm in beautiful Convict Lake. Not really. This is East Sierra. I'm from Modesto. I think I've met a lot of you before. This is a series of couplets. Gillian Regner had asked us back in March and April to write poems together and have them published as community spread poems, all about the virus, but in couplets only. And so it's kind of interesting. She gathered them all together and published them. And I'd like to just riffle through these and read a few of them. Each one is separate. Each one is on its own. I mused that Buddha was onto something by staying put and saying nothing. Our haughtiness at lording over all is humbled now by the way we're small. Maybe I'll turn around and get another one going here like this. That shows it's a different poem. In harsher times, we can occupy our minds by practicing the art of being kind. Watching two hawks in their wild careen dilutes my fear of things unseen. Fear is the beast that hides in a cave. Hope is the human who walks in the sun. The shyster proclaims, "It shall be so." The scientist says, "Let there be truth." Strange how a singular virus genome proves humanity lives in the same home. The warmth of those you know on the phone can raise up the flatness of being alone. That dreaded S word, Bernie can't sell it, Elizabeth neither, but at least Bean did it. For the question, what will the future bring? The answer, the buds and the flowers of spring. Our nights and our sleep keep on teaching. Dark times are not empty of meaning. Stay safe is now the mantra of the age. But what will it be when history turns the page? And the last one, though what we endure is very strange, nothing deeply good can ever change. Thank you.
Thank you for that. How long is the entire community poem, Sal?
She chose so many different poets, and I'd have to pull out the publication and look at it, but I could email that to you. It was several pages by many different poets.
Okay. For those of you that don't know, this was a project that was done by the Modesto. It's the Modesto Stanislaus Poetry Center, correct?
Correct.
And Gillian Wagner was the former poet laureate of Modesto. Yeah. And I think she did that. I think Stella, the current poet laureate, helped her. So anyway, but they, right at the beginning of the pandemic, they asked people to send in couplets. I meant to do it, and then I didn't. But anyway, they gathered them from all kinds of people, and then they put them together into a community poem. So I'm excited that you were able to share some of that with us. So
Thank you.
that's exciting. So yeah, if you could forward that to me, and then I'll
I'll
pass
let
it
you know.
along.
She might actually have a couple extra copies. I don't know.
Okay.
Of the publication. Yeah.
Okay. Or, even if we could just get a PDF or something, we can share that with people. That would be great.
I'll talk to Gillian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see. Who else do we have on here? Judy. Judy, are you still here? Do you have anything to read? I'm assuming you do.
See Judy. Judy, are you here? I don't see Judy. She might have
Is she
stepped
gone?
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
We have Zell
Okay,
and
I don't
Nate.
see her anymore either.
Nate
Is
McKenna.
Linda, are you still here?
Linda, yep. Linda, I'm going to ask you to
Yes,
unmute.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Do you have? Yeah, we can hear you. Do you want to turn on your computer?
Yeah, turn on your video.
Maybe.
Video?
Maybe. There I am. Okay.
Okay.
I have a poem. Okay. I didn't send it in.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's fine. That's fine. No, we kind of ignored that, but.
Okay. Okay. It's called Backyard. The other day, slumped in the hollow of a well-worn outdoor cushion, watching familiar squirrels perform predictable routines with unwavering enthusiasm, my companions in monotony, unaware of their humdrum lives, I noticed the slant of the sun slouching into a fourth season of squirrel watching. Spring ahead to fall back, isolated from an airborne enemy, I leave my life behind and watch the backyard wildlife. And I have another one.
Okay.
Okay.
That was lovely.
Okay, thank you. It's called It Could Be Worse. I'm grateful for the shady yard and walking path. It could be worse, I tell myself, in another less bucolic scene, this long extended quarantine. I'm doing fine, despite the list of movies missed and canceled trips, the distant kids and dinners out. It could be worse than it might seem, this unrelenting, sane routine. Marred further by the smoky air, fires start a year-long season. It could be worse, I must concede. To fan the flames with gasoline, I pin my hopes on the vaccine. I am, I think, still doing fine despite the nightly news, the vaudeville show that brings no cheer, the careless man who couldn't care less. It could be worse, or could it? That's it.
You're muted. You're muted. There you go. Oh, wait, you're still muted.
Muted. Unmute me.
There
Okay.
you go.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. By my list, I think that's everyone, unless Nate, do you have something to read? If you're still here, Nate,
I'm still here.
do you have anything to read? Is that a yes or a no?
That's a no.
Okay.
Big N for Nate, no.
Okay. Okay. So is there anybody else that has anything to read? Well, I'm going to go ahead and read a couple. And then if anybody joins us later or Judy comes back, then she can read. I think my apologies to the folks that were listening to me at the reading I did for the library last, I guess that was last month. It seems forever ago. I'm going to read a couple of the same poems that I read there. So this first one is called Shelter in Place, a Pandemic Pantoum. Fear blankets life, its tendrils creep in dreams. We huddle indoors, knobs and switches clean, numb out on wine, stare at computer screens, hoard food and supplies, whatever we can glean. We huddle indoors, knobs and switches clean. Black swan arrives, our solace is the source. Hoard food and supplies, whatever we can glean. News grows bad, wordless screams become coarse. Black swan arrives, our solace is the source. Days blur, can't focus on things that matter. News grows worse, wordless screams become hoarse. Skies weep, we wonder when things get better. Days blur, can't focus on things that matter. Numbers soar, mutual dread expands. Skies weep, we wonder if things get better. Pink petals scattered across wet pavement. Numbers soar, mutual dread expands. Numb without wine, stare at computer screens. Pink petals scattered across wet pavement. Fear blankets, yet life's tendrils creep in dreams. And then this one, yeah, I'll read this one next. For those of you that don't know, back in March, when Paul and I were canceling all of our events at the library and all the Poet Laureate events, he asked me to write a pandemic poem. So that last poem that I just read, that was the first one. And then since then, I've tried to challenge myself to write a poem a month. So there's kind of this evolving record of quarantine. And so this one was sort of in a response to, I had a series of married friends complaining to me about how horrible it was to have to be sheltering in place with their spouse. And I was kind of, and they were, I finally got that they were saying that because they were somehow thinking that me being single, I had this, you know, that this was so, you know, terrific for me. And I was kind of like, wow, okay, because I'd really like it to have somebody other than my nonverbal autistic daughter in the house with me. But anyway, so this was sort of a what dating is like during 2020, if you will. It's called Hands. From across the table, you held my hand. Our first date, not coffee, but 4-course meal. Our arms bared, offerings on starched white cloth. Wine flowed with our words. The waitress inquired what anniversary it was. 10, 15, maybe 20. We laughed and laughed and kissed for more than an hour beneath icy January stars. 2 years later, sitting alone at my scarred kitchen table, filled with fears I dare not speak. Imagine you reading in hushed rooms, yearning as I do for sweet escape. Boredom blurs our desperate days. Just weeks ago, we drove to Berkeley, watched a one-man show, Black, queer, trans, devoured street tacos, salsa, ice cream to cool sun-drenched skin. I wish I remembered what you wore, what exactly we said. Now the skies weep and frogs croak a lonesome dirge at dusk. No one knows when isolation will end, and all I can think is what I would not give for you to hold my hand. How are we doing on time? Okay, I'm going to read one more. And then if anybody else has anything else to read, they can read that. This one is called The Red Door. We hide behind a red door no one uses anymore as streets overflow with silence. I don't know how to live in this brave new world. A doorknob, a package can kill. A trip to the store overwhelms. Impossible to hold fear at bay, even with dried beans, disinfectant, antibacterial soap, stacks of books. For the first time, it's a struggle to read. My brain has room for nothing but numbers. Our newly rescued cats are less jittery than me. One begins to purr as I'm squinting at charts. I put down my phone, stroke silky fur. Rain slides down vacant windows as a choir of frogs croaks in the haze. I draw the first deep breath in days. Wonder what gruff future will unfold beyond the red door. Okay. Does anybody else have anything else they want to read? I feel like I'm, hello? Is everybody else muted?
Let me,
okay.
Let me see if I can unmute all.
Okay.
All right, everyone's unmuted. Everyone has anything to, great poetry, everyone. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that was some awesome stuff. Seriously, really good.
Thanks for hosting.
Does anyone, you know what? I have one more. It's not by me, but I was just searching around here and I came across it. Where did it go? Here it is. This is probably a good one to end on. Okay, this is called Touch Me Not. And it's by Eileen Casanetto. She is the current Poet Laureate of San Mateo County. So anyway, Touch Me Not. From holy texts is a hint to go and tarry not, but also alludes to a medieval imbalance of black bile. I know it as a social cancer which has plagued my people, but an archipelago can have many homonyms steeped in legend. Once there was a girl who turned into a shrub, wild and spined, fern-like, whose leaves quiver and fold when touched. This is the simplest form of learning, a countermeasure, instinctive and passive. Indeed, touch is the first sense we acquire, and here in the West, where I now live, we follow a 2,000-year-old custom. We offer a handshake to show we carry no weapon and come in peace. But a pandemic disrupts offerings, finds a nation as it is, not as its citizens wish it to be. To disrupt its path and flatten the curve, we follow recommendations for social distancing, a community-wide isolation. How fortunate then that we've been primed to communicate in real time. Hope you are well and thank you kindly. But if we should meet unexpectedly, in all honesty, hand over heart, I will unfold slowly and pretend all danger has passed. Okay. Okay, last call. Anybody else have anything to read?
I could read a little bit of Renga that different people wrote on my Facebook page.
Okay.
They're couplets and haiku. Peggy
Okay.
wrote
Is
one,
this
I
Marilyn?
think.
Marilyn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marilyn again.
Okay. Renga it's a collective. All right, I'll start my video. Renga is a collective poem that is written by 2 or more poets going back and forth. It starts out with a haiku and then a couplet and then a haiku, and it goes back and forth. Cooped up inside, thanks to smoke in the air and fires everywhere. Constance Hanstead. Make lemonade to share, run fans, play Scrabble for hours. Peggy Schibbleman. Crossword, Sudoku, stacks of jigsaws in corner. Netflix is your friend. Susan Bond. Beat the COVID rules, hiking the trails of freedom. Tony Sutton. D'Angelo. Movies on Hulu and long bike rides on the beach, cocktails and board games. Connie again. Swimming in October while Western jays squawk above. Alexandra Kostelis. I used to write these with my college poetry, Professor B. Spax. Me. Now we write Renga online while we survive quarantine. And Margaret Zhao. Digging up the old pictures, we see years beating fast. And that's where it ended. I didn't have anyone submit any after that.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, that was on your Facebook page?
Yeah, I thought it was fun because I took a free generative poetry through Iowa City Poetry, and they did that.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
You're welcome.